Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom Beta. This is my first episode of many in a new park which I have named Fercola Mountain Park, and it does have a logo which I've designed and popped those onto the thumbnails. I'm going to see if I can continue to pop that logo throughout the park. It's going to be tricky because it does have a raptor on it and there aren't any kind of signs or anything like that of raptors, so I might have to make do with what we have in game to start with, but I like it, so I'm going to keep it. At the moment you can see I'm building a entrance building. I actually really love building entrance buildings. There was about 6.5 hours of footage that I had to cut down to. It's approximately a 17-minute speed build and then maybe a 5-minute kind of walk around I show you at the end. So if you're not really interested in seeing the process of building, I completely understand. I would skip forward then towards the last sort of quarter of the video, and that way you can just wander through the entrance area with me and have a little look. Otherwise, feel free to watch my creative process building in beta. I do have quite a lot of things that I am excited to talk to you about from this building process, but I also have quite a lot of things that I need to give the devs feedback on, and some things that actually were better in alpha, unfortunately, and have been changed and aren't quite as good in beta. One of the things being that the rocks, well, at least for me, the rocks aren't saving their size. When you place them, they go, and you go to put another one in, even when you click on the button that says keep scale and size and rotation, it doesn't. And so all the rocks are very small, so you have to kind of size up all the rocks and then put them all off to the side and then kind of duplicate them rather than just picking them out of the menu, which I mean isn't a big deal, but it did work a lot better. There's also another couple of things, like we're missing doors, and we did have doors in alpha, so I'm going to have to make quite a few custom doors, and the haze in the map is a bit annoying, but it is being fixed. However, having said all of that, it is still a beta game. It's not like a finished game. They've put it into beta, they've asked for our feedback, and most of us are happy to give that. So I'll definitely be giving them some tips and some things, I guess, from what I've noticed while I'm playing, and just a few quality of life features that they can probably include easily without kind of having to code too much into the game. I'm just looking at the moment at what I'm building. You can see I've gone with like a bit of a log cabin style. The entrance building itself is sort of modern merged with log cabin vibes. I wanted to do that because I think it really suits the biome that I've gone for. Like I've gone for like a boreal or tiger kind of biome with, you know, a few temperate trees, but mostly like redwoods. So a big redwood forests all around. I also did try to pop in a water feature because for some reason I thought there would be waterfalls, and I hadn't played around too much in beta before I recorded this episode. I'd just kind of done my live stream, which is up on my channel, and then jumped in to build the entrance building, and I was thinking to myself, oh, when I build the entrance building, I'm going to chuck in a waterfall down the side. That's going to look incredible. And then I went to do it, and I don't actually think they have them yet. They're not quite ready to put those into the game, so hopefully they come sort of down the track in beta. They did say that there would be 3 or 4 beta updates between now and April. So, and then in April everyone has access. It'll be early access, fingers crossed. So if you're watching and you really, really want this game, I highly recommend it. It's got so much potential to be an incredible, incredible building game, management game, but it obviously has some things that still need to be worked out. It's not going to be available to you, unfortunately, until April. The reason that a lot of people on YouTube have access to the game is because we did pay for the game and kind of back it when it was in its early stages before alpha was even released. So that's how I have access. That's how a lot of other people do have access. So you just, unfortunately, you'll have to be patient and wait for the game. A lot of people I know will ask me that question, so I thought I'd just cover that off. The entrance building that I'm building now isn't actually finished in its entirety by the end of this video. Although I did spend sort of 6 hours building it, just over 6 hours actually, including the car park and sort of the walls leading down to the car park and the gardens and things. I'm going to put a restaurant in behind it, and also this room that I'm building now has nothing in it as yet. So I put the floor in and everything like that, and then nothing kind of goes in this area. So I'm really open to some ideas for this area. What do you think could go in it? Could it be like a small education area, or I don't know, where they come and listen to any talks, or could it be somewhere where they come and buy more things? I do have a shop already put in, so it could be another extension of the shop. I'm not too sure, so I'm really keen to hear your ideas about that. Otherwise I will put something in there eventually. I also, on the other side, pop in a big shop, and I also put in a restaurant. I haven't recorded, or I have recorded, but I actually had to cut out quite a lot of footage simply because 6 hours of footage sped up to 720% is still almost an hour of speed build. So it's too long to watch a speed build. So I've cut out quite a lot of the detailing. Let me know if you prefer the detailing to kind of like the broader stroking builds, which is what I'm doing now. So I'm kind of doing the shells and things like that, which I feel like is maybe what people want to see, and then I go in and detail after. If you really like the detailing, I could, I suppose, also do an extra video, like a second video of how I detail this type of thing and how I put in the shops and how I do the signs and the gardens. So let me know if you enjoy those things. I do like to do those types of things on stream as well. I have done one gardening stream and really enjoyed it, so I can see a few of those coming in the near future with regards to this game. You can see at the moment I am just popping in these little, I don't really know what they are. They're like little second story windows, but they're obviously not functional. They're just there to look like the employees could go up to the second story. Maybe there are some offices up there or a staff room, and they kind of go up there to get away from all the other area. Or they could just be for looks as well. I spent a lot of time doing kind of a tiered system. I really wanted this entrance building to be up on a hill, which it is. But I tell you what, putting it up onto the tiered system was really annoying. I really struggled with the bricks and the rocks that kind of set out each tier, and then I did also have to remember to include a ramp, so I put that through as well. I did put in some statues and kind of made it look a little bit nice. You can see at the moment I'm kind of going through and starting to formulate my thoughts around what's going to go on the left hand side there. I do decide in a minute to cut it in half basically, and half of it becomes the restaurant, the other half of it becomes the shop, because it is so big. It doesn't look that big, but Prehistoric Kingdom has a way of, the scale looks small, and then you bring the people in and things are massive. So I always try to use a reference point. This building is still huge, but I really wanted it to be, a wow. Like you drive up, you're in the car park and you look up at the entrance building and you're like, whoa, that building is huge. That's amazing. I can't wait to go into this park. And I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out in the end. I would really be interested to hear what you guys think about what dinosaurs I should put in, particularly in the first couple of episodes. So I've already started to record one episode for one of the smaller dinosaurs in the park, of which there are only 3. So I've kind of given you a bit of a hint there. There are 2 flying and 1 walking, or the ones that they're not really flying, they're kind of gliding. So there are 2 gliding and 1 walking, and I am building a habitat for one of those. But we now have some other dinosaurs in the game. We also have the mammoth as well. So I'd be really interested to hear from you guys down in the comments. What do you want to see first in the park? What kinds of things would you like to see in this park? Would you like to see hotels? Would you like to see restaurants? I'm really looking forward to trying my hand at putting some things on the sides of mountains. I'm not sure how I'll go with that. It is going to be quite time consuming, I think, but I'm still going to give it a try. I'd like to see how that kind of will work in this game. I would also like to hear from you in a minute when you see what I've put in as the ticket barriers. I've used the in-game ticket barriers, and I would really like to hear from you guys as to whether or not you think I should build my own. So the ones that I used are in-game ones. They're prefabs, and I don't know if I love them. They kind of look a little bit rubbish in this particular entrance, but they do serve their purpose. But they are a little bit, they look a little bit small and a little bit underwhelming, and maybe they don't fit this build very well. I'm obsessed with these murals. I was so happy to see them when I kind of first jumped into beta, and I saw them and I was like, yes, that's going to suit my builds so well. So I'm really excited to use those, and you'll probably see me use them throughout the park quite a lot, and perhaps you'll be sick of them. So apologies in advance. So here you can see I'm putting in those ticket barriers. What do you guys think? I'm not sure. Not sure if I love them, but I'm sure you guys will let me know what you think. I am going to jump out of the chat now and let you guys listen to some music. We are about 2/3 of the way through the speed build, so there is about 8 minutes left of the speed build, and then I will take you around for the real-time tour. See you soon. Well, hello everyone, welcome back from the speed build. Here I am just outside the entrance. There are lots of things that are still unfinished. It might not look like it to the naked eye unless you look quite close, but there is a lot of things that need fixing up and need finishing. I also want to put quite a few small details in, so at the moment it's just kind of this big shell, and I'd like to really make this park as detailed as I can. So at the moment you can see ahead of us here we have the steps going up to the main entrance, and then we also have this ramp entrance that goes up through the garden. So if you're in a wheelchair or you're a parent and you have a pram or a pusher, you can kind of push the kids up here, or you can sort of wheel yourself up there. You can see that the lines down here are kind of sticking out of the ground a little bit. It's because this car park is on a slope, so the lines over here that I'm happy with, the draw in beta is not very far at all, so let's just get a bit closer. So the lines that I'm happy with here, and kind of the arrows and so on that are sort of right close to the ground, I just kind of shifted them up, and you can see that it must be on a slight angle, which what I'm going to have to do, annoyingly, is I'm going to have to basically remove the car park and flatten it. So we'll do that at a later stage off camera, I think, guys. No one wants to see me faff around with that. Maybe I'll do it in a stream, who knows. And then I also have this overflow car park down here that is unfinished, and then this little bit here with the pathway from the overflow car park, and I need to finish off this garden bed. But aside from that, most everything else is getting there. So we've obviously got some walkways from wherever you park your car. You jump onto the walkway and you kind of come up into the main area. There's some seating. I'll just jump down here to the seating, so if you want to kind of sit and wait for anyone or you're meeting people. And then I've got this tiered garden bed system. I'm loving really making things dense, so I've really gone for really dense foliage in these garden beds to try and make it really, it looks like it's been there for a long time. And then here we go, we've got our entrance here. So you can see it looks quite impressive. Like if you were a guest and you were coming up here, you'd be like, wow, I can't wait to get in there and see the dinosaurs. Particularly if you're sort of standing here and you can see this big, kind of skull here sticking out of the garden, and there's lots of ferns and there's lots of growth sort of all around it. It just looks pretty cool. I've also put lights all the way up here, although they don't turn on at night. I think it's because I don't have any power source for them yet, so I'll have to sort that out. And these are just kind of bollards to stop cars from careering up the staircase, I suppose. That's kind of the thing you would have. I did consider just putting this barrier sort of all the way across, but it looked a bit boring and I kind of wanted it to look a little bit more interesting. And then I have this dense sort of redwood forest and temperate sort of forest all around the outside, both sides of the entrance building. So let's head on up, guys. What we might do is we might just head up this way by kind of flying on up like so, and then I'll show you either side before we go into the entrance building. So I spent quite a lot of time making the underside of the roof look good, and I know that not many people see that, but I know it's there, so I kind of wanted it to look decent, and so all the roofing inside both of these look alright. And then I spent ages trying to get these sides of these windows over here perfect, so it actually looked like they were built into the side of the building. And then I have these small garden beds, and they're two-sided. Call them two-sided benches, so you can have people sitting on each side, some bins, and then we've got this big Lambiosaurus statue looking fantastic. Those mountains in the background look so good. And there's a little light that kind of lights him up at night, and you can kind of see a little glimpse into the shop here. And then over the other side we have a mammoth and a smaller mammoth. It's not really, I'd like to say it's a baby, but it's not really a baby because I guess the babies wouldn't have these tusks, right? But I tried to make it look like it was like a mammoth and a smaller, maybe juvenile mammoth next to it. And then, as I said in the speed build, this room is completely empty, so I'll be keen to hear from you guys what you think I should put in here. And then this is the ramp. I'll just head over here and I might just fly up slightly so you can see. There we go. So you come in off the car park, and then here's the little entrance to the ramp, and you can walk up here and then up here, and then you come out the same kind of area where people would come up if they were walking up the stairs. I think I also eventually will put in some railings in the middle because that's a little bit more realistic. Like they would probably have railings here in the middle. They'd probably also have them on each side as well to stop people jumping into the garden beds. Alright, let's head on in. I'm eventually going to put a nice big sign on here saying welcome to Fercola Mountain Park, and then down we go. So what I did here was I put in, I guess, some implied shutters, or I guess doors that kind of come down at night. So you've got these, I guess these would be the runners on the sides, and then these would be automated. So they'd press a button and they'd kind of come down to stop people from just wandering on into the park whenever they wanted to. And then there's also implied shutters here, and there's also implied shutters on the other side as well. So what we'll do is we'll hop down into the shop, and I'll show you around in the shop. So I've got 3 places where the workers would work, and then you wander on in. I've just copied these over from a prefab that they already had in game, and I kind of changed them around a little bit so they looked slightly different, and I took a couple of things off the shelves and so on. But most of these are all prefab in game, and they look amazing. Like, they look so good and they look so realistic. So you've kind of got the dinosaurs and the dinosaur skulls, and then you've got these books and bookshelves with like little cups and little toys on there, and then you've got like the dinosaur t-shirts and birds and micro raptors. I guess that's what these ones are supposed to be, and then like little masks and hats and so on. And then there's also these shelves here with some more dinosaurs, and then I've popped a toilet in here, and the toilets go kind of to either side, so there's female and male on each side. And then here I'm going to eventually build like a little basin, I guess, where people can come and wash their hands. And then we've got the 2 aircon vents up here. I really like the roof in the store. I think it looks really good. So I've got like, I guess this is kind of where the window is, so I've tried to sort of block it out a little bit so it doesn't look ugly. And then I've got these big pillars across and a skylight. So I put this skylight in when I realised it really looked quite dark in here and quite dreary, particularly at certain times of day. So I wanted the skylight to kind of come in and really hit this mural. Let's see if we can change the time of day so you can see that kind of happening. There we go. So yeah, if that skylight wasn't there, none of this light would be coming in to the building. So I think skylights are really important. You got to have a think about that when building buildings, and kind of make it really does light up rooms when it's certain times of day. And then I do have these ticket barriers. I did say in the speed build I don't love them. I don't know why I don't love them. Maybe it's because they just don't look as magnificent as what, you know, the rest of the build does. Like, it doesn't look like it fits in, I guess, is what I mean to say. So if you think I should build my own, let me know in the comments. I mean, they do serve their purpose. It's not like they don't serve their purpose. Like, they are obviously what they are, but we also have these gaps in the middle here that I will need to eventually fill out. So here we go, guys. In this side you can see there's nothing. It's a big empty room with, I have put in a ceiling into this one because it was ugly in the top and I didn't want people to have to view that. But what do you think I should put in here, guys? It's got a little mural down the back here. I didn't want to put it on all 3 sides. I thought that might be a bit too much, too samey as well. But I'm really interested to find out from you guys what you think could go in here. Not a restaurant, because I am going to put a restaurant over this side. So this is the last little part of the entrance that I will show you. So we've got this area here, which I've put the mural on this side as well. Then I've got this like little area down here, which I'm going to make this like the implied kitchen for the restaurant. And this will kind of be a wall with a door in here, and I'll have a sign and so on for the restaurant. And then there'll be like a counter here and lots of seating inside, and then lots of seating outside as well. And I'm going to put an implied shutter here as well. So, I mean, I want that to kind of be the entrance restaurant or cafe, I suppose. Like, a lot of places would have like a cafe as you walked in where you could sit down and have something to eat on your way in or on your way out. And then this, my friends, is the rest of the park. I've put a bunch of trees here so it didn't look too empty, but I will zoom out and show you. So let's just zoom right out, and you can see down here is, over here is when I've put some mountains in here and here. It's very hazy still at the moment. I really like the backdrop, and then I've put in obviously the lakes and the rivers and so on as well. So all of these trees will eventually be gone, and there will be habitats and walkways and all sorts of things. So I'm really looking forward to getting that started, and really looking forward to showing you guys what I have in mind for this park. I have already started one small habitat, as I said, so let me know in the comments below what habitat you'd like to see next, what dinosaur you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you really want to come on this journey with me and I guess watch Fercola Mountain Park unfold, then please hit that subscribe button. It really does help small creators get out there and get their content to more people on YouTube, and that would be fantastic. I would love it if more people could chat with me, come along on my journey with me while I invest quite a lot of time in Prehistoric Kingdom, and I'm really enjoying it. Thanks once again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.